Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you are watching me. My name is Dr. Olushola Adigbite and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I'd like to give my thoughts on the recent event that happened with a Nigerian political activist and blogger, Justice Crack. The matter is currently, a big issue in Nigeria. He was abducted by the Nigerian army for posting videos of the feeding condition of soldiers on the front line. And of course, he's been charged to court. He was charged to court yesterday on various, grounds, cyber crime, and all of that. I mean, I'm sure we are familiar with the story. So, but this is the angle I am bringing to the discussion. You see, military rule is a cancer, and the military rather, does not have any place or any role under a civilian administration or under a democracy. The only role that the military has under a civilian administration or a democracy is to protect the country from external aggression and defend its territorial integrity. Anything beyond that, and of course sometimes the military may be called to act in aid of civil authorities, for example the police and other security agencies in the country. Anything outside that is not for the military. As a matter of fact, the military should not be seen. So I live here in the UK, and it is impossible for you to find a military personnel on the road anywhere in this country. It is impossible. It will never happen. They are rarely seen. The police is the principal law enforcement agency in any civilized country. Even when an offense has been established, a crime has been established, it does not matter who the victim of that crime is. So we assume that the crime has been committed against the Nigerian army. All the army has to do is to report to the relevant agency, which is of course the police, and the police goes ahead to apprehend the offender. The military does not go by itself in a Gestapo style and kidnap, abduct the person in question, hold him in detention for days, torture him, brutalize him, and when they come under public pressure, they then release him to whatever agency. That is barbaric. That should not be heard of in the 21st century. That should not be heard of in a democracy. Now, I started this video by saying that military rule is a cancer, and that is the rule. As a matter of fact, it's always said that the worst civilian government is better than the best military rule. And that is true, because the military is not cut out for governance. By training, the military is an agency of force and applies force in most of what it does. And that is why it is not cut out to rule or to govern a country. Now, I would like to share an experience just to underscore my discussion in this video. I recall that should be sometimes around either 1998 or 1999. I think then I was on IT. Nigeria was just about to exit military rule under the government of General Absalami Abubakar, and it was the height of military rule, and the military were very reckless, very notorious, brutalized people. I mean, they were all over the place. I mean, you could really do anything, and you could be a victim the next minute. So this very fateful day, I think somewhere around Isolo, for those who are familiar with Lagos, Isolo is a part of Lagos State, around Mushin, Oshodi, and the likes. I went to see someone, and I was going back home. I think I was about to go and get a bus, and I was walking, by the side of the road. What here in the UK you refer to as a sidewalk. I was just minding my business, and just walking. Apparently, a military truck was coming behind me, and they felt I was obstructing their way. Without telling me, a soldier brought out a whip from the truck and whipped me very hard across the back of my neck, such that the whip cut a deep mark behind my neck with blood coming out. And they drove away. Obviously, they must have been laughing and having, fun, with that. That tells you the story of how soldiers, the military, behave. They do not see this, the common citizens who they refer to as ordinary civilians as equal to them. They see them as beneath them. And I suspect that, of course, this must have been the reason why the Nigerian army, has chosen to act in this way, abducting, a citizen that has committed no crime and, treating him like a common criminal. So, and quite unfortunately, you have seen a lot of persons, either acting as if, it is none of their business. Some have even, chosen to look the other way and all that. But let me say that when things like this happen, it should ordinarily elicit, like they say, public outrage. Everyone, ordinarily, this should get everyone angry, outraged, and everyone lending their voice to condemn the military. That is the only way things of this nature, would come to an end. But when some demand justice and some look away, it tells, those who are involved, the military, that, well, they can do whatever they like to do, and there will be no consequences. Like they say, an injury to one is an injury to all. And even though it is justice cracked today, it could be anyone tomorrow. It could be a journalist tomorrow. It could be a banker. It could be a lawyer that will, that will be in the same manner abducted, dumped into detention, and nothing would happen. It is quite painful that in this time and age, things like this will still be said concerning, democracy in Nigeria. I make these videos, to stir up public consciousness and to let people understand that, of course, they have a right, and that right is their property, not, given to them, as, a matter of courtesy. No. And the least we can all do is to just lend our voice in this manner to say, let the right thing be done. So I just want to share my, my views on the fact that the military has no place in civilian governance. There is nowhere in the Western world where you see the military, on the streets performing any kind of function or doing anything, not in elections, not because something is happening somewhere and then you call it the military. No, they are really seen. And even when you see the military, they are so courteous, they are so civil, they are so friendly, they are so, they are so warm and so pleasant that you feel like becoming a military personnel. And that's the way it ought to be. So once again, thank you very much for always, coming around, to watch my videos. I don't take it for granted. Thank you for the time and the attention you always give. Please subscribe to the channel if you have not done so, and please like this video. I will see you in the next one. Thank you.